Well, hello. Happy Friday. We made it to the weekend almost. Probably some of you are already in the weekend, right? Indian time, I guess. Still not, right? In a couple of hours. Hello. If you're here, say hi. Let me know how you are today. I'm always very happy to hear from you. We have a lot of things to do today. We said that we're gonna do some very ambitious things with our React dashboard that we built or started building yesterday. And without further ado, let's start and let's jump right into it. Let me put on the other screen. There we go. So here's a recap what we are going to be building. It's a dashboard. It's just for us to kind of maybe practice, maybe just like figure out how to work with React, what's like the main basic concepts of React, how we're feeling about it, and also me hopefully sharing some knowledge from my working experience, I guess, and hopefully answering questions if you have. So kind of like taking you along the journey of how we're going to be building it, which issues we're going to face, and how we're going to solve them. So yeah, that's the dashboard. We said we're going to start just like with one page. We're not going to do any routing. Yesterday I was very optimistic that we would have this and this and this and that, but that didn't happen. Let me show you what we did have. Yeah, there it is. So I wanted to show you this. Cool. So you probably can see my screen. Isn't that like the favorite phrase of everybody? Can you see my screen? So that's what we built yesterday. I called the dashboard Dashy Dash, and I think it fits. I didn't know what dashy means, but then I googled it and I saw that in slang it means that it's stylish. And I'm like, for sure. We also had yesterday an appearance of Rebecca Purple. I didn't know that there is a CSS color that is called Rebecca Purple, but she was there. She helped us in the beginning to figure out the flex, how we built the sidebar, and how we made like all the spacing between it. Then we built the top nav, and we stopped with our search input field. Now, if you have the repository, which I have the link in the description box below, I made tiny changes to the structure of it. Just a second, let me do the music a little bit lower. So I made some changes, and yesterday in the stream, if you paid or if you just like noticed, all our files were straight away here in the folder called React Dashboard. Now it's split into two things because I figured that if somebody is gonna come and, I don't know, let's say watch the 5th stream of this series and they would want to go step by step and code it by themselves, or not by themselves, but along with the recordings, which I highly encourage you to do, then it would be probably hard to find the starter file code if I'm going to be pushing the updates that we have. So I split the things into starter files. So if you're just starting out, that's going to be your folder. You need to open that one and work in that one. And I'm going to be working in code along progress, and that's where the end results of each stream is going to be pushed to, in case you want to check it. So that's kind of like the structure that I came up with. So we're not going to be working starter files. It's going to be code along progress. We're using Yarn, and we have all those things here. Leonis, hi. I'm fine. I'm very happy that it's the weekend soon. Been streaming for 3 days straight, and I must admit, it takes time. Like today in the morning, I wake up, grab a cup of coffee, start working, then 8 hours are gone, and then I start, I don't know, having dinner or something, and then I need to prepare for the stream and stream. So it has been kind of like packed, but I enjoy like coming here and talking to you all, so it's really nice. How about you, Leonis? How is it going? Is it already the weekend? What time zone are you in? It's also very interesting to know where people are watching it to understand. What's your current mood? Are you like already done with the day or just starting it? So yeah, I said we're using Yarn. That's why we have our yarn.lock. Then what else do we have? Yeah, so yesterday we did those squares because we didn't have the icons, and I said that I'm gonna prepare some stuff and bring icons, and I did. Before I show you how where I put them, let me check if we're running. Okay, I don't need to check that. I want to show you Figma. There we go. So Figma is my tool of choice where I don't know, I do almost everything now. I also use Photoshop, but everything that is like website related I do in Figma. I really like it. So these are the colors that I came up with. We have agreed yesterday all together that we're gonna be using hot pink as our main color. Hey Janine, what's up? And then I didn't know which color to go together with. Hey Kalyani, hey, how are you doing? Happy to see you here. And like some people were suggesting black, or we thought of gray or green, and I thought that this blue, or kind of like gray blue green thingy, don't quote me on colors, I failed my colors exam 3 times in my university, so but to me it looks bluish. I don't know about you, and I think that this combination kind of works. You know, we could use this as our font, kind of like the main color of our font. Then this is going to be our background, I think. Is it our background, or do we have another color? No, this one is our background. This one is kind of like the borders between it. And then this one is just like white. I don't know why we need that one. But anyway, we have it. What else? What else? Oh, okay, so the white is going to be the background, and this is going to be kind of like our stuff. No, it's not. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know why we have those two. I'll see in the code. I already forgot why we have those 2 values. Maybe somebody remembers why we have 2 of those values. But yeah. Then we also had to decide. No, we didn't. I decided it by myself. Which font to use, because I don't know, this font seems kind of basic to me, and it doesn't represent the whole vibe of Dashi Dash, and I think we need to do some other fonts. So I found this font that is called Amico, and I think it's pretty sweet. If you check here in the example, we don't have much of like paragraphs and headers and everything. It's all kind of like the same font everywhere. So I didn't go with like choosing 2 fonts, but what I did do was to select 2 thicknesses of the font. So we're gonna have kind of like a main font, and then we're gonna have a thicker one. So we could kind of like put like accents for our fonts, you know? So yeah, those are the things that I came with today. And also our icons, our cute icons. I tried to find everything that we're gonna see here on the dashboard, and just just imported it. If you're interested to know how I did that, maybe somebody wants to know a little bit more about Figma, then let me know. I can maybe cover that in another stream. But if you have Figma is for free. So if you have the option or the desire to open up Figma and kind of like play around with it, I highly recommend. Also at work, we started using Figma as our official tool. So it was pretty big that we moved from Sketch to Figma. And I think that means a lot. Alrighty, let's get back to our code. And let me show you how I did the icons. I didn't do them all because I was running out of time, and I thought maybe that can be a good opportunity to show how I use icons in React or like SVGs in React. I don't know if that's the absolute total best way to do it, but it works, and I do it quite often, and I think it's all right, you know. So if you are coding along, then be sure to do a git pull from the most recent update, because I did push the icons, or like the base for the icons, for us to start. And you can find the icons if we go to source, components, and then we have the icons folder. You see here like a specific icon folder, like the components. That's another extension of Visual Studio Code. It's nothing to worry about if you don't see that in your code editor. That's the word. So icons. As you can see, I have here one kind of like a React component, and the other ones are basic SVGs. So how does SVG look like? It's very, very like packed up with digits and characters and everything. So you need to have the SVG tag with some kind of like standard, and then you need to close the tag, and in between you're gonna have path. It's gonna be or one or several, depending on the figure of the SVG kind of. So yeah, you will see that some of them are smaller, some of them are bigger, so that really depends on that. It has a specific width and height, but we're going to be changing that because we're going to create them as components. And the beauty of components is that you can just use them anywhere you want, and you can, for example, give them another color, or give them another size, or rotate them, give them like specific classes. So we would not, you could, so let me show you where we have this example. So if we go to our dashboard, you see that here we have an arrow, and then here we have an arrow, and here we have an arrow, and here we have an arrow. So all of those arrows, they're different, right? They look different at least, but we could make them the same ones, but with some changes. So this one, for example, can be our default, and then we could add to them like the color green or the color red, or a rotation to them, or maybe also the size is going to be a little bit different, right? Because this one is smaller. So that's why I figured that let's make them React components and store them all in the icons folder, because there's not much to do with them. They're just going to be living there. And I'm also going to show you something like, I don't know how to call it, but to me it's kind of like nerdy React fun, you know. This is like, to me, what I like about React. So stay tuned. It's not gonna take a while. It's not gonna. I'm speaking. I don't know how I'm talking today. It has been a day, right? It has been a week. So if my words don't make much sense, let me know. But I'm working on it. The work is in progress there. So Stay tuned for the funny, fun, interesting, exciting thing about the icon that I'm going to show you in a bit. But first, while we're waiting for others also to join us, let's maybe put all of those icons as React components. And how you do that is I created this arrow icon. So if we check, I'm just gonna close it up as much as possible. So what you do is, again, it's like a very simple React component. You import React from React, you name your component, which is essentially just the name of your function. And here I'm passing props. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. And here is the SVG that I was talking about. So every SVG like this is gonna go inside of a React component. And that's all you need to know about for now. Now, when it comes to this thing, I said that it's props. So, I mean, I would assume that you have some very, very minor knowledge of React and you know about props. But if not, then props are basically arguments that we pass to functions, which are our components, and then we can use them in our component, aka function. You know, so component equals function and props equal arguments. That's how you can view it. They have kind of like special, some very, not often, but they have sometimes like special rules to them. But in general, you just pass them on and then you can use them. So in this case, we know that our arrow icon is expecting a width and a color, as well as classes. And we're gonna be using them respectively where we need it, right? So I put like a class name here that is gonna be classes, then I put the width, and if we don't have a width, then we have a default for it, 16. This is an ES6 syntax where we can set default to our arguments if they're not being passed. Then we have the color, which is also our set thingy like this. Yeah. And I pass them here to the strokes because that's how paths work. That's with the case of the arrow, and I think in the other ones we will need to pass it in the fills. So we need to kind of like check it one by one to be sure that we're not breaking anything and that our icons actually work and that the SVGs are displaying accordingly. So for now, if you have any questions, shoot them on right now. I'm gonna start replicating kind of the arrow icon structure in all of those icons. I'm gonna be doing it like in my own pace, kind of like fast, just to get through it. But if you want me to slow down or anything, let me know in the chat. Okay, let's go. So what I like to do is, because I like copy pasting, and since they all gonna look kind of the same, we do this. And well, first of all, we need to change this extension because otherwise it's going to give us problems. So basket, and it needs to be with a capital. Basket icon. So the width of it, the default one is 18. And let's copy this. So I'm gonna put it here because I want to copy the class name and the width. So I don't want to retype it. We can omit the height. We don't need the height because it's gonna just grow accordingly to the width. And then we have here, we have the fill, which is gonna be our color. And remember yesterday in the stream, I mentioned that if you want to pass a variable to any of those attributes, then you need to wrap it in curly brackets because then React will know that it's JSX. What did I say? No, because then JSX will know that it's JavaScript. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, I really need the weekend. Yeah, color. That's the thing, like, do you write color or color? I usually write it with a U, like a British English. But since I know mostly in development you use American English, then let's go with that. Let's not confuse anybody. Okay, basket icon. Done. Cool. Copy this one. Rename this. Cog Icon .gsx. Oh. Let me know if you hear the music. Woo, Steven, thank you for subscribing. It's good to see that those alerts work. Is it me or is my internet really bad right now? I'm trying to understand if my stream is alright or if it's really bad. Because I see here notifications in OBS Streamlabs that it's not ideal, so I'm wondering what's going on. Oh, okay, audio is fine, but stream is... Let's see if it's gonna sort itself out. Maybe just a temporary. Let's give it another several minutes. If not, then I don't know. Maybe as long as you can hear me, it's okay. Okay, where was I? I was with the dashboard. With the downtrend. Copy this. And don't forget to rename it. So do you get the hang of what I'm doing now? And also here in like some of the icons, you need to be careful because if there are like two paths, then there are chances that there are two fills that you need to replace with the props. So don't forget that. And then this one is going to be icon. Hello, hello, Lakshya. Hello, welcome. How are you doing? Okay, I think this is lagging too much. Let me try and change my settings, and I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Okay.